Hey y'all, I'm out here in the corn patch. Man, what a week. I know a couple of y'all probably have had one like mine that you just didn't think you was gonna survive it, gonna live through it. Got in over my head down a humble way, not over my head, but just overwhelming back in that rat race pace and deadlines and pressure, and right in the smack dab of the middle of Houston. Didn't help none. I was just ready to pack it up and come to right where I'm at right now, but here I am, so I guess that's good. Coons have found the corn patch. I knew it was coming. They hadn't messed up too much, I reckon. Out of 1,000 plants, few to the wildlife won't hurt nothing, but the peas will be ready to pick next week. They're coming on strong, so we're gonna, as my buddy said, we're gonna put a hound on the ground out here and kind of get things ready for old Hudson to take up his post in the evenings. He loves it out here in this pasture. Poor thing barks all night anyway, whatever's out here. I set him loose the other night and he was after it. He come running through this garden like he was on fire. Probably chased a coon off. We no big deal. He's gonna like it out here. He has a little dog house and gets to be right in the middle of the garden over the evening. Out here watching old Jordan. He had to cut him a nice little path to walk around the fence line of the pasture. And he's over acting like it's a golf course. Maybe do something on that mower. Sure makes it nice. Be able to beat back this old grass. Y'all have a good week. Got a pretty special day coming up this weekend. Of course, every day should be that, just like Mother's Day, but we're going to celebrate our dads this weekend. I thought about that out here. Of course, Jordan's grown and take care of himself. Most of the time, stuff I worry about with him, he's already taken care of. I just knew for a fact when I came back last night at 11 o'clock, I'm dragging him from Houston. And I was like, I know them chickens probably hadn't been fed. This, that, and the other. Got up this morning, he'd had it all taken care of. I guess I shouldn't second guess him like that, huh? He knows the drill. Sometimes our kids live in our shadow and they blossom a lot more when they get out and you just let them go. So I hope that ain't the case here and he runs me over. Got that phone on. Do the back part? You want to do the back part? That's what I was asking. That's what I was asking. Yeah, you can. It's not hard to get him on the riding lawnmower. It's tough getting him on that push one though. But he knocked out that ditch, that whole ditch with that push mower here a few weeks ago for his brother. And sister-in-law came down with little Isabella. He wanted it looking sharp. That's fine. But I was thinking about dads, and a story I'd heard a way back. Boy, it sure resonates with me and my dad. And I guess I've caught myself out here kind of doing it with Jordan, and do it from time to time. Y'all may have heard it. It's attributed to an old Cherokee custom. Now, whether or not that's the fact of the matter, I don't know, but it's a good story just the same. As they age and come into adolescence, the rite of passage for a young man in those days in those tribes was to sit out in the woods all night blindfolded and not make a sound, not peep, not take the blindfold off, and sit there from sundown to sunup on a stump as the creatures and all moved around them, and the fear of the night and not being able to see passed, and they was able to endure that night and that fear and that test. They'd be considered a man the next morning when the sun come up. So as it would go, the young man came time to take his rite of passage, and fearfully he still put on the blindfold and took his place out in the deep woods on an old stump. He sat there all night as the wolves howled around him, and he heard rustling in the leaves. Things came and go. He never budged, never whimpered, never took off the blindfold until that sun started brightening the woods. And when it did, he took off that blindfold and looked around, and there, not 50 feet away, quietly sitting there on guard, was his dad, making sure that his son was going to be free of harm. and he didn't even know it. Reminds me of my dad. It sure reminds me of our Heavenly Father that sits back idly sometimes and lets us go on our own way. But He's always there to protect us when we need Him. So maybe we should take a moment and thank old Dad when we don't need protection and we don't need help, which is rare for some of us. But Jordan's out there mowing and nothing's gonna get him, but I can't go sit on the porch and be still about it. I gotta sit out here just in case. But, I guess that's the nature of how things should be, right? Old chickens are struggling along. Hadn't lost any more to speak of. I've noticed these old leghorns have taken a permanent roost up in the trees, which is kind of neat. They, I guess they figured out that when I come to feed, they'll be the first ones out of the gate, because not even out of the gate, I scatter the feed out and then open up the coop door. Well, they get about a 5-minute lead on the food ahead of these other ones. Chicken factory's in full effect inside the house. I captured all the eggs we could while they were still fertile. Of course, when a hen is bred, and we lost all of our roosters, but when a hen is bred, they'll usually stay fertile for 7 to 10 days. So as soon as we discovered we lost the roosters, I started scooping up eggs and putting them in the incubator till I filled it up to 48. And the first round's coming after they're making their way out of the egg as we speak. So we'll have another hatch of 12, and then all 48 will eventually come over the next few days. Still 20 weeks away from eggs on that bunch, but they're coming on. I think that original, the first 2 I hatched on the place, y'all remember all that drama trying to figure it out. I've learned just to let God and nature handle it, and if it comes, it comes. If they don't, they don't. But I believe this is let me show you here if I can get a good. I'm pretty convinced that might be old Rooster Cogburn's offspring right there. What do y'all think? I'm pretty sure both of these are silkies, based on their feather pattern on the top. Of course, they're still scraggly and growing their adult feathers, but if y'all remember, that was back around Mother's Day, right before that, when those 2 were born. But they've graduated to the penthouse coop inside the main house. So I guess they're coming on. But those little old bitties, I guess we're hatching about 2 or 3 a week until I run out of the ones that are fertile, and we'll grab us a rooster, I suppose, and start it all over again. But, we're gonna have plenty of corn to pick. I'll probably pick some in the morning. Going down south to College Station with my mom. I just can't get it out. So used to Mom and Dad, but going down with Dad and Kimberly. And I think I've said that 3 times today, but I guess that's all right, because technically I guess we are. She's still with us in our hearts. But going down there and seeing a cousin get married, be a good little time with Dad and Kimberly. Reckon I ought to bring one of them sunflowers to them down there. Boy, them things are pretty. Yeah, they came on, but I picked 50 ears of corn the other evening, first round, and I see I got plenty to pick now. I may try to peddle a few for an hour or 2. Like I said, I can't sit still. I think Jordan's going to stay here, so we may throw a sign in the yard and see if he can sell a few ears. But I've got a lot of canning to do. I had a mystery gift show up. I tell you what, I'm just humbled and amazed at God's blessings, and I guess that's why I don't. People ask me, why ain't you charging for this and charging for that? Why would I do that? Got to pay it forward, right? Ain't nothing but a little sweat equity into it. But had a big old pressure canner cooker show up on the porch, and it was a bright spot in my week. I'm talking about I was beat down, y'all. I couldn't even see the light yesterday. Only light I was looking for was that porch light. But guess we all have those days. You just have to hang on tight, strap up your boots, and do what you can to get through it. But noticed it today when I got home. And, now I got to get these tomatoes to come on so I can start canning them, right? So that kind of reinvigorated me, and we'll get that rolling. I guess I need to make some pesto. As big as these basil plants are, they done went to blooming, which probably ain't a good thing. But anyway, got all kind of stuff. Okra's coming on. Watermelons are looking good out there. I ate my first banana pepper today. It was just about ready to pick, and there wasn't but one of them, so I just ate it in the garden and said, that'd be fine. Tasted good. You can do that when you're not throwing a bunch of poison on it. You got to worry about washing it off. A little dust never hurt anybody. What we're made of anyway, ain't it? Might keep me from getting sick, right? Maybe. Well, I wanted to check in. Hadn't been on all week, and just really have my thoughts on the blessings of fathers and dad and that strong role model. Worked with old boy this week that was had a rough life. He's turned it around and continually trying and recognizes his struggles. Probably about 13, 14 years my junior. He was talking about his time in the pen and mistakes he'd made through drugs and all. And got a pretty good little outlook on life. He's trying. And got pretty sad and thankful at the same time as he talked about his dad as still a druggie, he said, and his mom's a pill popper, and don't want nothing to do with him, and just sorry parents. Boy, that was tough to hear. I've just not seen it, but just not been used to being able to refer to your mom and dad like that. But he wasn't disrespectful, he just stating facts. But that's the world we live in, y'all. Just really made me thankful for the dad I got. I was blessed to have. And of course, we never measure up to our parents. We can just get as close as we can and keep trying. I know all of y'all can agree with that. So, sure, we're going to celebrate Dad as he encounters this tremendous life change. But we walk on, and he's a strong dude. And no matter how topsy-turvy them waves on top might look, when you got an anchor in the rock, then you'll be all right. Storm can only do so much. But, anyway, I'm rambling. Looks like Jordan's gonna put it up for the evening. He's had all the dust up his nose he can take. So I'll go check on him, and we'll call it a night. And y'all celebrate your dad, even if he's already passed on this weekend. Think about the good things that he taught you, even if there was some rough stuff thrown in. There's always something good we can pull out of it, right? Y'all have a good evening. Be the light.